India is home to an enormous number of cows, yet they are never consumed, no matter how poor or hungry people might be. With a population of 1.45 billion, India is now the most populous country in the world. Yes, you heard that right. India has surpassed China in this regard. However, India also struggles with a serious hunger crisis. In 2024, the Global Hunger Index for India stood at 27.3, ranking the country 105th out of 127 nations. Around 13.7% of the population suffers from malnutrition, and 35% of children under 5 experience stunting. This issue becomes even more intriguing when considering the sheer number of stray cows in India. As of 2020, approximately 5 million wild cows roam the streets. That is a staggering number. These cows could produce over 1 million tons of meat, enough to feed 25 million people for an entire year. Logically, one might think that these stray cows could be a practical solution to India's hunger problem. So why isn't this happening? The reverence and worship of cows are deeply rooted in Indian society and remain a subject of global curiosity. In Hinduism, cows are considered sacred symbols of life, making their slaughter and consumption a grave offense. Indian law prohibits cow slaughter in 18 states, despite the country being the world's largest cattle producer, with over 300 million cows, nearly a third of the global cattle population. With such strict laws banning cow slaughter in many regions, along with severe penalties, cows in India have limited economic utility. Female cows can be raised for milk and dairy products, but once they reach the end of their productive years, they become a financial burden. As technology advances, the need for cows in agriculture and transportation has also declined significantly. Consequently, many cattle farmers find it impractical to continue feeding and caring for aging, unproductive cows. Instead, these animals are simply released, left to wander aimlessly. Ironically, this has created a new set of problems. Stray cows disrupt public infrastructure, damage crops, cause traffic accidents, and contribute to pollution with their uncontrolled waste. What was once a sacred symbol of life has now become an issue that India struggles to manage. What makes Indian society allow such a valuable livestock commodity, one that could provide a substantial source of meat, to become stray animals that disrupt public order? This seems like an irrational choice, as they are effectively wasting the potential surplus of beef from their massive cattle population. These stray cows enjoy extraordinary freedom, flooding the streets, wandering into markets, destroying crops, and obstructing traffic. For many Indian farmers, cows are considered part of the family. They are often adorned with garlands, and when a cow falls ill, people mourn, pray, and even shed tears. The birth of a new calf is celebrated with joy and festivity. To outsiders, this may seem increasingly illogical. More concerning is that the veneration of cows sometimes surpasses compassion for fellow human beings. In India, devout Hindus often refer to Muslims as cow killers, and the slaughter of cows by Muslims has historically triggered violent sectarian conflicts, sometimes leading to deadly riots. In recent years, the Indian government has tightened laws and imposed stricter penalties to criminalize cow slaughter for all citizens, regardless of religious background. Even Mahatma Gandhi, a globally revered figure, was a staunch advocate for cow protection and strongly supported a total ban on cow slaughter. When India's constitution was drafted, it even included a Bill of Rights for cows, reinforcing the prohibition against killing them in any form. To this day, many political parties and social organizations in India remain dedicated to strengthening and enforcing these laws. But could there be a more practical explanation for this deep-seated cow worship, beyond religious and cultural beliefs? To find out, we will explore the historical roots of cow veneration and uncover possible material causes that extend beyond faith and tradition. One crucial aspect to consider is the role of cows beyond being a food source, particularly as plough animals and draft animals. In India, two primary animals have traditionally served these functions: oxen and water buffalo. Despite the overwhelming number of cattle in India, there is actually a shortage of trained plough and draft animals. For every plot of land under 10 acres, at least a pair of ploughing oxen is needed. Many farmers do not own their own ploughing cattle and must rent them from others. This reduces agricultural productivity since ploughing can only be done during the rainy season. The limited availability of plough animals means that much of the land cannot be tilled in time before the rains end. During harvest, the shortage of draft animals further hinders efficiency in the agricultural sector. Unlike the issue of cow slaughter, the scarcity of ploughing and hauling cattle cannot be directly linked to religious taboos. The lack of working animals poses a major challenge for many traditional farmers in India. If an ox falls ill, a farmer risks losing his land. He must spend more money to rent oxen from others, and if he lacks the funds, he is forced to take on high-interest loans. As a result, every year, many poor farmers in rural areas lose their land. Some are left with no choice but to migrate to overcrowded cities, adding to the growing number of unemployed and homeless individuals. For a traditional Indian farmer, losing a working ox is equivalent to losing a tractor. However, unlike tractors, which can be manufactured in factories, working oxen can only be bred by female cattle. From the perspective of Indian farmers in the past, cows were incredibly valuable, akin to a factory that produced tractors and draft animals. Naturally, they would not rush to sell their cows for slaughter, as these animals played a far more critical role in ensuring long-term agricultural stability. Cattle have been pillars of human agricultural history, serving as plough animals and providing fertilizer through their manure. Even in the modern era, the transition from traditional to industrial farming, with tractors and chemical fertilizers, has not been a simple process. In a country like India, large-scale industrial development for manufacturing farm machinery and fertilizers has been slow. As a result, animal-powered agriculture remains a defining feature of India's agricultural landscape. Although mechanization is on the rise, data from 2024 shows that India still relies on 70 million plough animals, which cultivate around 65% of the country's farmland. Moreover, transitioning to industrialized farming requires a drastic reduction in the number of farmers, as large-scale agricultural operations are managed by a small percentage of the population. In the United States, for instance, only 5% of the population is engaged in farming today, compared to 60% in the pre-industrial era. India, on the other hand, is a densely populated country, where a significant portion of the population depends on small-scale subsistence farming. A sudden shift from traditional to industrial agriculture would leave hundreds of millions of farmers unemployed. The consequences would be overwhelming urban migration, an urgent demand for large-scale job creation, and a series of social and economic crises that, if not properly managed, could turn into a national disaster. Cow dung has also played a major role as a cooking fuel. Even today, many households in India rely on biomass fuels such as firewood and cow dung. Data from 2024 indicates that 41% of Indian households still depend on biomass energy for cooking. Cow dung is often preferred as a cooking fuel because it burns steadily and provides consistent heat. Many Indian dishes require long cooking times, especially those prepared with ghee, a clarified butter that is a staple in Indian cuisine. Cow dung is particularly well suited for such cooking methods, as it produces sustained heat without burning the food. Before the advent of modern fuels like kerosene and gas, cow dung was a critical resource, to the extent that it was not only collected for household use, but also traded as a valuable commodity. From the perspective of ancient Indian society, cows were not merely seen as a source of meat. Their long-term benefits were far more crucial for survival. Cows formed the backbone of agriculture, providing plough animals and draft power. Their dung was essential for both fertilizing crops and fueling household stoves. Given this perspective, it is understandable why cows came to be regarded as sacred. Slaughtering them for meat would have meant cutting off a vital source of agricultural productivity and household energy. Even during droughts and periods of scarcity, cows retained value beyond their potential as a meat source. A farmer enduring a drought would still hold out hope for rain. When the rains finally arrived, having a cow ready to plow the fields immediately would be crucial, rather than having to rent one from someone else. The Zebu cattle, a subspecies of domestic cattle native to the Indian subcontinent, is particularly well suited to India's agricultural and environmental conditions. Zebus are smaller in size, with a distinctive hump of fat on their shoulders that serves as an energy reserve, allowing them to survive longer in dry conditions. They are also more resistant to tropical diseases compared to other cattle breeds. As work animals, Zebus exhibit remarkable endurance, continuing to labor even in poor health until their very last breath. However, there inevitably comes a point when these cattle can no longer work or even produce dung. So why did ancient Indian agricultural societies still refrain from slaughtering them? Are there still other alternative explanations for this phenomenon? We should consider this perspective. For an Indian farmer, slaughtering or selling their cow to a butcher may offer short-term gains, but keeping it alive provides long-term benefits. From a biological and ecological standpoint, any organism or community is constantly tested by extreme conditions to ensure survival. For traditional agricultural societies, prolonged droughts and famines are existential challenges. In this context, the taboo against slaughtering cows should be understood as a rational strategy for navigating difficult periods with wisdom and foresight. The prohibition on cow slaughter indirectly acts as a form of natural selection for Zebu cattle, favoring those that can endure dry seasons. A farmer tempted to slaughter their cow during a drought is essentially sealing their own fate. Without cows, they will have no means to plow their land when the rains return. Over time, the veneration of cows likely emerged as a protective cultural norm, guiding society toward long-term social and agricultural stability. However, even sacred norms are not always effective in preventing desperate acts. During World War II, Bengal experienced a devastating famine due to drought and the Japanese occupation of Burma. In response to extreme hunger, large-scale slaughter of cows and draft animals occurred, forcing the British colonial government to implement cow protection laws to prevent further mass slaughter. This crisis highlights a key point. Allowing unproductive cows to live during prosperous times can serve as a savings account for difficult periods. In extreme circumstances, these older cows could be sacrificed first, ensuring that productive cattle survive to sustain agriculture. Beyond religious and cultural prohibitions, large-scale beef consumption also places a burden on ecosystems and food supply chains. According to the laws of thermodynamics, the longer the energy transfer process, the greater the energy loss in the form of heat, leading to inefficiency. The caloric output of livestock meat is always lower than the direct caloric intake from plant-based crops. In a densely populated country like India, a significant increase in meat consumption could destabilize food security due to a calorie deficit. Too many crops would be diverted to animal feed, while the resulting meat might not provide enough calories for the entire population. In high meat-consuming nations like the United States, at least 60% of total farmland is allocated to growing animal feed. If India were to increase its meat consumption significantly, vast amounts of farmland would have to be repurposed, potentially causing food shortages and rising food prices if not managed efficiently. In practice, even though cows are not slaughtered, they are still consumed in an alternative way. Cows that die from illness or starvation often become a food source for millions of lower caste communities in India. Beyond their various uses as plough animals, sources of fertilizer, and even cooking fuel, cows in India also hold a unique ecological advantage. They are not direct competitors with humans for food. Unlike pigs or chickens that consume grains and crops edible to humans, cows primarily feed on agricultural waste, discarded plant material, and even urban garbage. By consuming what humans cannot, they transform waste into valuable products such as milk, dung, and draft power, contributing to an efficient cycle of resource use. A less discussed aspect of cow veneration in India is how it affects different social classes. For the lower caste poor, cows serve as a way to extract resources from their surroundings for free, while returning useful products. These families benefit from cows that graze on public lands and consume organic waste, while also providing milk and labor. Conversely, for wealthier landowners, cows, especially stray or semi-feral ones, can become a nuisance, damaging fields and property. Many owners release their cows to roam freely during the day, allowing them to scavenge for food, only to call them home at night to be milked. This decentralized free-range management system reflects the deep integration of cows into India's rural economy. To outsiders, Particularly from Western perspectives, the Indian tradition of cow veneration may seem like an impractical or wasteful practice. However, throughout India's long history, cows have been relentlessly utilized. They labor in the fields until their final breath, repurposing waste into usable energy, and dairy cows are milked to their last drop. Rather than being an inefficient system, this deep reliance on cows reflects a culture of resourcefulness in a land where environmental and economic conditions have historically been unpredictable. Cows also serve as a national symbol, particularly for the lower classes who depend on small-scale agriculture. Their role extends beyond farming, as they provide essential labor for cottage industries such as cotton weaving. In India's struggle for independence and identity, cows have often been portrayed as protectors of the underprivileged, safeguarding traditional livelihoods against the encroachment of industrialization. The majority of India's cows belong to poor, landless rural families, making them the cornerstone of survival for many. Eliminating cows in large numbers would strip these families of their primary source of income, forcing them to migrate to urban areas in search of work. Despite the taboo against cow slaughter, many farmers have devised alternative ways to dispose of unproductive cattle. In some cases, unwanted female calves are fitted with sharp wooden yokes around their necks. When they attempt to nurse, they wound the udder of the mother cow, leading to rejection and eventual starvation. Old and sick cows are sometimes left tethered with short ropes, ensuring a quicker death from dehydration and hunger. Additionally, some farmers discreetly sell unproductive cattle through intermediaries, often from Muslim or Christian communities, who then transport them to slaughterhouses in urban centers. The concept of cow love in Indian culture is not solely rooted in religious devotion. It also functions as an adaptive mechanism within a low-energy ecosystem that values efficiency and minimal waste. In an environment where resources are scarce and must be preserved, cow protection plays a strategic role in ensuring community survival. The protection of cows, even those that are temporarily unproductive, helps sustain social and economic stability in several ways. First, cows that are not currently producing milk or providing labor are still retained because they may become useful again in the future. Second, the prohibition against a large-scale beef industry prevents the rise of intensive cattle farming, which would consume vast amounts of land and water. Third, many cows are kept on communal lands or under a landlord system, allowing them to gain weight without burdening poor farmers. Fourth, maintaining a stable cow population ensures a faster recovery after natural disasters like droughts or famines, as cows can be reintegrated into agricultural work when conditions improve. While the system does have inefficiencies, such as uncontrolled cattle reproduction leading to overpopulation and eventual starvation, it also reflects an adaptive strategy honed over centuries. Over time, this practical adaptation evolved into a cultural and religious norm, crystallizing into the sacred status of cows in India.